Hey, Michaela. Excuse that background noise. It's the printer's running. I'm printing out tests for y'all tomorrow. So the main problem I see with problem number, it'd be number 5, page number 5 in your module or your pod. The XY here, you did find the correct number, except for the fact that when you typed it in, you left the XY underneath the radical, and it should not be underneath the radical. So retype that and take the XY out from under the radical. That just means type the 14 and then press your space bar to get out from under it and then type the XY. You found the right number, you did the math right, you just typed it in incorrectly. So that's all you did for that one. Let's look at the next problem. So the next problem was to factor this by grouping. So I'm looking at this. I'm going to see if I can factor it by grouping. So I can take a y out of these two, and I get y times x plus 3, right? Now I can take an x out of both of these, and I get minus x. I'm going to take a negative x, and I get x plus 3. So what I should have here is y minus x times x plus 3. That should be what you have found. Okay. So go back and look at your notes and see maybe where you messed up, or maybe you wrote something down twice that you shouldn't have. But check out what you did. This should be your steps for factoring this with group factoring. Let's look at the next one. So your next problem was, where you had a problem, where you had a struggle, was finding the range. So the range here, let me use my pen here. The range here is, if I can actually even spell it, the range is going to equal y is a member of the set of real numbers such that, and this is where the blank is. This is where we would write in our answer, right? So what we have to do is we have to look at the lowest value of y on the y-axis, right? So that's the y-axis. So the lowest range is here, and it's an open circle. And the highest range is right here, the highest number, and it's actually a solid line, so that makes it a filled in circle. So if you look, you've got a -4 and you've got a +3, and this +3 is going to be, the values of y are going to be less than or equal to 3 because they're below, and the values of y here, they're going to be greater than -4 because they go above, and we put y in the middle. So -4 greater than, y lives in the middle, right from here to here. Those are the y values. And then you put the other value on the other side. So this is what's going to go right here in your blank. -4 is, less than. I wrote this backwards. -4 is going to be less than, not greater than, because -4 is the smallest part here. It's going to be smaller than the other y values because it's the lowest one, and my logic just kind of went backwards, didn't it? And then that's going to be less than or equal to a +3. So in between here is your y values. So there's no way that -4 could be greater than y, because then that would mean the other numbers were this way, right? So that's how you would write that. You look at your top y value and your bottom y value, and you create this little thing here, this connection here, and express it like that. -4 is less than all of the y values, which go all the way to and include +3. So less than or equal to 3. All right? That's how you would do that. So this should be the answer for that problem. Let's look at the next problem. All right, so here we're going to find the total surface area, which is expressed as surface area. So the surface area, that means all of the surface area, not just the area of the base. So I think you found the area of the base correctly. So we have 4 foot here, and if this is 4 foot and this whole thing is 7 foot, then this has to be 3 foot, right? And this is 4 foot. So we have a triangle that is 3 foot by 4 foot, and we divide that by 2. 3 and 4 is 12. Divided by 2 is 6, so 6 foot squared. Then we have a square that is 4 foot by 4 foot, so 4 foot times 4 foot is equal to 16 feet squared. All right, and then we have a half of a circle, which is pi r. I don't know why I keep writing a 2 for the letter r today. Pi r squared divided by 2 because it's half of a circle. So 2 times 2 is 4 pi 2 foot divided by 2. So that's going to be 2 times pi in feet squared. So when we add these together, the area of the base is equal to 6 plus 16 is 22 plus 2 pi in feet squared. So that's the area of our base. And we have 2 of them. So to find our total surface area, we've got 2 times the area of the base plus we need the lateral surface area. Okay, lateral surface area is equal to perimeter times height. So we need to find the perimeter of this shape. So I'm going to start over here and let's look at the perimeter. So we've got 4 foot plus 5 foot plus 7 foot for our flat sides around the outside. And that's going to be 9 plus 7. That's going to be 16 feet. Okay, so that's our perimeter. So we've got our area of the base, which is 22 plus 2 pi times feet squared. Now we have our perimeter. That is part of our perimeter. The other part of our perimeter is this half circle. So that's going to be the circumference, which is 2 pi r, and the radius is 2 foot. But it's a half of a circle, so we divide it by 2. So that's going to be 2 pi feet. So our perimeter is going to be 16 plus 2 pi feet times 9 feet. So now we have to do all of those calculations, right? So I'm going to do this first one. 2 times 22 is 44 plus, actually I'm going to write that down here. I'm going to stack it. So we've got this part right here is 44 plus 4 pi feet squared. And I'm going to do this down here. So I need my calculator. 9 times 16 is 144 plus, and 9 times 2 is 18 pi. And that's in feet squared because feet times feet is feet squared. I can add those together because that's what this one is telling me to do, right? I'm going to add those together. So that gives me 188 plus 4 plus 18 is 22 pi and both of those are feet squared. This is going to be the answer that we are looking for. Okay? And I think that's the last one that you needed help with. So when it says surface area, it means all of it, right? Unless it specifically just says the area of the base, or if it specifically says lateral surface area. If it just says surface area, it means total surface area, which is 2 times the area of the base plus the lateral surface area, which would be the area around the sides. And then we would have 2 times the area of the base, because you have to also add the bottom that it is sitting on in order to get, you get the top, you get the bottom, and you get the sides. That's the total. Alrighty. All right, that's all we have in this video. If you have any more questions, let me know.